What's going on, my nerds? It's been a minute. It has been a minute. I got really sick. I was like, got this cold. And it's like it laid dormant for a while and like gained power and then all of a sudden just like got worse. And like I've had COVID twice and it was definitely not COVID because COVID's hell. Yeah, this was just like a weird cold. Anyway, finally feeling better and enough that I could like shoot a video here. So I want to do this video for a while. This is the brass Thinamathing in the Tri version. Now this is an awesome try. Like it's great. I can't tell you that I am the real expert on tries. I know that like which tries are like the absolute grail ones that everyone wants, like pose stuff basically, you know. Like, don't we all want a WCU cocoon? But as far as tries I have tried go, this is great. This is wonderful. It's like, it's just like a little propeller. It's a little beautiful propeller. This is by Modusworks, so Jonas Nix designed this. This is machined by Nick McKenty over at Full Throttle Originals. Just freaking beautiful machining work by Nick. He is like the machinist's machinist. He's a machinist nerd, you know, from what I've heard. He's an absolute nerd in that way. He just knows how to take a design that someone sends him and just get set up for it in like expert time and like, you know, just get it done. Like meet deadlines, be a cool machinist. He's a nerd that way. So yeah, this is Jonas' design. This is one of the first kind of spinners that we've seen from Jonas in a while since he started the Wrapped. And the reason Nick McKenty is machining it is because, you know, when you have a CNC machine and you only have one like Jonas does, and it's all set up exactly like you need it to make a certain thing, which is the Wrapped right now, you can't just go and break down all your jigs and everything to then switch it over and like start machining spinners. You know, if you look at any big like factory with a lot of CNC machining, they have multiple CNC machines, and every one of those CNC machines is set up to make a specific part, or maybe two, right, depending on how much space they have in there in the machine. So when, you know, Jonas only has one, he has to choose, what am I going to make right now? And right now it's wraps. Everyone wants wraps. They love wraps, right? We want spinners too, but we really want wraps. So yeah, Nick has, since Nick is such a badass machinist, Jonas trusts him to, you know, machine his designs. And yeah, here we are. So this is the new Thinaamathing. Thinaamathing V2. There was a Thinaamathing, of course, V1, way back in the day before my time. And that one was similar, very similar thickness, but we didn't have any of those little machining lines around there that we've come to know and love from the Wrapped. You see those on the edge of a Wrapped. And I think it's a great addition. It really makes pulling it and flicking it super easy. That's the thing about tries, is that you can flick them and not just pull them. So sorry, I got distracted by the way the brass sings. Have you ever noticed how brass sings? Something about it. I don't know what it is with a spinner and brass. It makes a certain kind of singing noise. And that is not lacking in this one. What else to say about this? There's a conversation I had with Jonas about tries versus bars. And Jonas and I, we're both like bar guys. We really prefer a bar spinner. And he was talking to me about why that is. And a lot of it comes down to jutter. So if you've spun a bar spinner, you might notice how, you know, when you have it on its axis just sitting in one way, and then you go and you start moving it and changing its axis, you get that rumbling sort of feeling, and that's called jutter in a spinner. So some people like me and Jonas, we absolutely love that. We want to feel that jutter. And then some people who like tries, they get a bar in their hands and they start doing it. And then I've seen posts where someone says, hey, what's wrong with this spinner? Like, what's wrong with this bearing? It's making like all these like rattling noises every time I move it. And then all the like bar guys are going, yeah, good. That's a bar spinner for you. That's the point. It seems like you might be a Tri guy, right? So that's where the difference comes in. Tris are so much smoother. That one extra arm divides the amount of, axial adjustment that it needs by 3 instead of 2. So what I mean by that is if you have, a bar spinner, here I just have so if you have this one, this is my other Thinaamathing, the W. You have this one, you have 2, right? So if everyone knows that a circle is 360 degrees, right? So spinning in 360 degrees. So each one of these arms is only taking up 180 degrees of the adjustment on the axial plane, right? So that means that when you move it, it's harder for it to adjust to its new axial position. And then that's also why you notice that you only feel the jutter when you are moving it to a new axial position, and then it stops because that jutter is just adjusting to that new position. So when you have the 3 arms, that means you have now divided the 360 into 3, which is 120 degrees. So with a bar spinner, you have each of the arms dealing with 180 degrees each of the axial adjustment on that plane, which is why you're getting jutter. It doesn't do it very well. And then with a Tri spinner, you're having each arm deal with 120 degrees each of that 360 degree spin. So that's why when you move it on that axial plane, you get a lot less jutter. And what you really get is just that gyroscopic feel. That is one thing this Tri is very good for, is this gyroscopic feel. And I found myself just sitting there playing with it on my finger, and you can even just like make it wobble and then feel it adjust itself. It does that very well. So something that is great about this design is, I don't know what it is, but it just goes. Like, it just fucking goes. Like, you just put it and it just rips. It's crazy. The warps on this thing are amazing. The thin design lends itself really well to just almost this, it's almost like a worry stone aspect of it. Like, I would find myself, fiddling with it a lot in slow ways, fast, you stop, you're, feeling the center of the button like it's a worry stone, you're running your fingers up and down the edges, all of a sudden you're giving it a flick, you're stopping, you're putting it back in your hand, and it's just, there's a lot of fidgetability to this. I highly, highly, highly recommend, in short. So here's what happened. I saw a post by Ethan Solis on the Facebook groups there, and he was looking for the Thinaamathing because another guy, Osmond, who does the Daily Fidget YouTube channel, he graciously sent Ethan a Thinaamathing, I believe a Thinaamathing just like this, in stainless steel though, and he sent that to him to, play with it and see if he liked it. Turns out he freaking loved it. So then he was on the hunt for a Thinaamathing, which I thought he wanted a bar, right? So I asked him hey, what's your budget? And he was saying that on the groups that it was only $200. These retail right here. I bought this direct from Modusworks website for $150. So that is retail on this. It's $150. So Ethan's budget was $200, right? But everyone's selling these for $350, $450 or something like that, marking them way up. I don't personally agree with that very much. So I kind of was thinking about it, and I'm going, $200. Okay, $200. That is your budget. Gotcha. All right. And then he said, I actually would prefer a Tri over the bar. I'm going, okay, interesting. So I thought about it, and it actually worked out really well. So what happened was I was out on a dog walk, and it was so embarrassing. I wasn't even spinning the damn thing. I was just standing there, and I was like looking at it, and yeah, I had my left hand or something. I was standing there looking at it, and then just something happened. I don't know. It just fell right out of my hand. Goes right down. I do the old like hacky sack, try to stick my foot out to, I don't know what, like bounce back up to me or something like that. But I'm over asphalt, right? So I guess I stopped it a little bit, but it hits my foot and then goes and bounces over and lands very much just on like two arms. And through this video, you've probably already noticed the blems that caused. So you got a blem right there. Pretty significant. I've buffed them all out a little bit with some very, very fine sanding sponge. And then you have another good dinger right there. And then a couple of little guys there that are not showing up too much on camera. There's one there. So I was looking at that. I'm going, okay, yeah, no big deal. You know, it's brass. It's a, cheap spinner. Doesn't affect how it works. But I'm thinking, okay, if I was going to sell this thing, what would that take off? Maybe about $25 or something like that. So I'm going, okay, cool. So we're at $125 of value for this. But then here's the thing. I can't get rid of these grips. These grips are like, I need them. I absolutely need them. And I need them for the W. I need them for this Thinaamathing V2 in tungsten. I don't know what it is about these doing a button swap and having these brass grips on here. But if I can ever get them screwed on, there we go, then I'll show you. So, I don't know, it just makes it sing a little bit more, and it just looks fucking fantastic. It's classy as fuck, okay? It's like James Bond spinner. So, I've grown addicted to the W like this. So, then I was thinking, well, if it doesn't have any buttons on it, then that means we're looking at like probably, I don't know, another $25 off or something like that. So, we got like $100 here. Right? But then I remembered that I have these grips from Nick McKenty as well. It's got his own little signature design on there. So his little FTO design. So these are tungsten. And they're pretty damn good on a Thinaamathing. They were made for the Thinaamathing. Should have opened with that. And they're $100 brand new, and they're brand new. So, the way I was figuring this is if I had it just like that, we've got $100 on the body, and we got $100 on the grips. And this thing is awesome like this. So, there's $200 right there. So this thing's going to Ethan's sauce. It's staying in his budget, and yeah, I'm staying within my morals of not overpricing these things so much, and allowing other people to be able to enjoy them, and not keeping them so inaccessible, because I truly believe in the like healing power of these things, like mentally, especially, anyone with like ADHD tendencies like me, or people with anxiety, stress, they're really great. They're important, and I want a lot of people to be able to get these. So that seems like a pretty fair deal to me. It was $150. I fucked up. I dropped it. It lost value. I want those buttons. That takes value off. I'm throwing in these other brand new buttons. Priced accordingly. So this is for Ethan. I wanted to make this video before I sent it out. There you go. Okay, you stay fidgety, nerds.